Hey YouTube. So I'm back with part 2 of my experiment, and I wanted to show you guys that as deceiving as measuring the diodes as I had before was, that there actually is some infrared in here to be harvested. It was just to get it in a slightly different way. So over here you can see that I've got the diodes all hooked up in series, and I've got them charging a capacitor, and they are charging the capacitor to 24.1 millivolts. Now that's not bad, all considering, especially if I put my hand over top. Oh, they lose a little bit. If I remove my hand, it goes back up, and if I take the capacitor out and I short the two sides, just to say, we can see that it's making 24.2, 24.1. Put my hand over top, and we can see that the generation drops considerably. And this is to be expected because these are, well, they work from about 200 nanometers to 1100 nanometers, or 1.1 micrometers. Both of these sets work within that range, and each they actually peak in sensitivity at 980 nanometers, which is right around the red range of light, very much into the near infrared range of light. And now I'll show you what the other set does. So if I connect to this set over here, move my leads over. Now we can see with this set over here, it's significantly less. So, yeah, per diode, it's quite a lot less. However, with this set, okay, you're not really going to see it like that. If I go on a single diode over here, we can see that it's a very small voltage for the single diode. And if I put my finger over the front of it, you can see the change in the voltage there. If I come and I take a milliamp signal, you're not going to see much of anything. I put my finger over top and you don't really see anything. But going back in the millivolt range, you see minus 0.02, 0.01. Now this is just because these biasing here is slightly different. Now connect back to these diodes, and with a single diode we see 1.14 millivolts. And if I switch it over to current, we won't really get a reading. Yeah, see, it doesn't do much of anything. We don't get a reading, but we do very much have voltage. Now the power level here is extremely low, extremely low. And just to show you here that there actually is some power to be connected or collected, touch both of these sides together, and we will now insert this into here. And so you'll see, I'm going to put it in, and you'll see on the screen that the charging level will drop and it'll fill up. There we go. And so this is a 15 microfarad capacitor, and sitting here like this, it will charge, take a little bit, but it will charge. Now the big question is, if I put a bowl over this, am I going to continue to be able to charge this capacitor, or or is it just going to discharge? And if I can still charge it, what level can I charge it to? So I've got a little bowl here. Take the capacitor. I'm going to short her out. Not that it's going to matter, because it's going to have some time to charge anyways in between. So the capacitor goes back in, and we can see the charging happening, and I've got the bowl over top. And would you look at that? It's still charging up. Now, maybe light's getting in the front here. So, okay, and I've got this sweatshirt over top. I've got the bowl over top. And it still seems to be charging up. Now, what I can do, I just thought of it, I'll reveal the pieces over here. I've got these two connection ends out. I've got the bowl over top. Connect both wires together to short it out and drain that up. And now I'll reconnect. And let's see what happens. So we don't get much. We get a little something, but we don't get very much. Now I have a feeling that this is because of the wavelength that these still operate off of, but that's what that is. So now we can take the bowl off. You'll see it'll charge back up. And now we'll go to another part here. So since this works off of infrared, why don't we give it an infrared source? That'll work. So what happens if I light up the lighter here? Well, isn't that interesting? I just turned the lighter on, and the amount of power that was being output rapidly dropped. So now this leads me to another question of why? Why did it drop? How come it's getting cut in half? I lined all these up, and now I'm giving them infrared, and every time I give them infrared, the amount of voltage drops. This makes me think I'm going to have to measure each one of them individually and see what's going on here. That should not be dropping. That should actually be going up. Anyway, so that was a bit of an interesting thing that I found here. So obviously there is some infrared that will interact with these ones. It's not much, but something. When I think of another test, or I have another little interesting test to show you guys, I'll be back. Until then, we'll see you next time.